Broadcasting live from the Meridian via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we are getting ready for the Henry Hine Cup Winners Bracket semifinal between the 7th-seeded Hendersonville-Beech-Gallatin Commandos and 3-seeded Tennessee Outlaws. And in fact, we're about to get this thing started soon. Warm-up winding down, so let's talk about the two teams playing this game. First up, Hendersonville-Beech-Gallatin, coached by Stephen Sullivan, beat Centennial 6-3 on Wednesday night. So let's look at their stats coming into tonight's game, their playoff stats. Merrick Mott, the team's leading scorer, he has 3 points all from goals. Carter Morrison has 2 points from goals. Gideon Drobnik has a point from a goal. Justin Schaefer has 2 points from assists. Colin Smith and Alex Williams each have a point from an assist. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yep, I've gone over all of them. Jackson Broderick played in goal. He played the full 42 minutes, allowed just 3 goals on 10 shots, turned away the other 7. His save percentage in the playoffs is 70, goals against average of 3. The Outlaws, coached by Chris Deming, beat Station Camp Liberty Creek 4-3. Their stats coming into tonight, Jacob Shank and Owen Hervey each have 2 points from a goal and an assist. And Logan Wood and Dalton Alejandro each with a point from a goal. Hayden Hall with a point from an assist. Justin Yanuchili played the game in goal. And I got to pull up his goals against average. He made, he allowed 3 goals on 35 shots, turned away the other 32. His save percentage in the postseason so far is 91.4. And his goals against average is 3. We're just about ready to go with this one. Again, getting started a couple minutes early. Justin Yanuchili going to be in goal for the Outlaws. Jackson Broderick going to be in goal for Hendersonville for this first period. Outlaws will carry the puck from my left to right. Hendersonville from my right to left. Winner of this game will play the Rutherford USN winner next Wednesday night, February 21st, on the North Rink in Antioch in the Hine Cup Winners Bracket Final. The loser will play the Station Camp Centennial winner on Wednesday night at 7:30 in Antioch. Gideon Drobnik right away carrying the puck to the front of the net. Well, got away from him, but Justin Yanuchili had to turn it away. Puck out on the far side. James Daniel will carry it to center. Had it poked away. Drobnik. Head to Carter Morrison. Now Merrick Mott, right wing side of the Outlaw zone, is shot off a stick. The stick of the back-checking Hayden Hall into the netting above the glass. It took the first 34 seconds off the clock. In the season series, the first game ended between these two ended in a 4-4 tie on October 9th. The Outlaws won the second meeting 7-6 on December the 4th. I'm sorry, the loser of this game will play Brentwood on Wednesday night at 8:30 over on Rink B. It's the Station Camp Centennial winner who will play the USN Rutherford loser on Wednesday night in Antioch at 7:30. Draw to the right of Yanuchili. Outlaws bring it to center. Logan Wood, right wing side of the Hendersonville zone, gets off a shot. Stopped and held on to by Jackson Broderick. Draw to Broderick's left. Outlaws won the draw. It was taken away and dumped down ice by Alex Williams. Puck behind the net, Yanuchili trying to pass it over, but it's intercepted, put out in front. And, is it in the back of the net or not? It's not. Justin Yanuchili dove out into his own net, but he covered it up. 12:58 left in the first. No goals on the board. Draws to the left of Yanu Chile. Colin Smith trying to go to the front of the net. Knocked away by Yanu Chile. The puck actually got away from Smith. Here's Jacob Shank carrying the puck to center on the near side. Into the Hendersonville zone on the left wing. Turns and shoots. And I think it was blocked as Jack Resty falls onto the bench, sitting atop the dasher board. He's okay. Puck comes out to the left point. Held in and a shot missed the net. It's from Bob Cobb. Puck now behind the net. And net got knocked loose, I think. Yeah, it got dislodged. 12:04 to go in the first. No goals on the board. Draw's going to be to the left of Broderick. Won by Hendersonville, but Bob Cobb keeps it alive at the left point. Passes it down the wall, comes around to the near side. Here's Carter Morrison. Down low in the right wing corner. Morrison carries it to center. Chips it into the right wing corner of the Outlaws zone. He's behind the net now. Comes out to the left wing. Passes out high. Shot in the right point. Stopped by Yanu Chile. That shot came from Caden Smith. Puck was at center. Dumped back in by Hendersonville. Now it's taken out to center. Tyler Ellis. Ellis into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. Gage Salome jumps in. Nudges him off the puck, but he gets it back. Passes out to the high slot. Puck now back in the Outlaws zone. And it ends up at center again. Justin Schaefer backhands it back into the Outlaws end. Once more. A.J. Malloy had it knocked off his stick. Here's Gideon Drobnik. Above the right circle. Passes down the right wing, Merrick Mott. Passes off. Drobnik to the net. A shot turned away by Yanu Chile. Out on the left-hand side. Puck held in. Nate Lucas shot turned away by Yanu Chile. Pucking it up in the right wing corner. Drobnik comes out in front. Shot blocked. And the net got dislodged. 10:19 left in the first. No goals on the board. But Hendersonville, that top line dominating possession. Draw be to the left of Yanu Chile. They say it's him who backed up and knocked the net out of position. Draw one by Hendersonville, and a shot from Mott had to be turned away by Yanu Chile. Puck backhanded out to center. Now it's brought back in. Drobnik on the right wing side. Left it behind him as he was trying to bring it to his forehand to get off a shot. Top of the right circle. Puck sent back into the Hendersonville zone. Nate Luke will track it down. Put out in front of the Outlaws. Oh, and James Daniel couldn't get off a shot. Shot from out high, and Shank missed the net. No correction, it was Jack Resty. Puck put out in front again. Clive Keeler couldn't get a stick on it. Actually, no, they said he shot it off of Broderick. So Broderick with another save. Now a shot from the left point, stopped by Broderick. That was from Jack Resty. Now the puck out at center, trickling into the Outlaw zone. Resty beats Drobnik to it. Banks it off the far boards, picked up by Daniel. Daniel ahead to Logan Wood, who backhands it back into the Hendersonville zone. Carter Morrison behind the net. And puck was poked away from Colin Smith. Morrison gets it back. Passes it up the far side. And Alex Williams knocked it into the Outlaw zone. Colin Smith touched it up offside. 8:50 to go in the first. No goals on the board. Draw be on the dot in front of the Outlaws bench. Outlaws won the draw. Puck sent up the far wall, knocked down by Carter Morrison. He'll bring it into the Outlaw zone on the right wing side. Could not get past the back-checking Bob Cobb. Drops it behind the net. Colin Smith put out in front off the stick of Alex Williams. It gets knocked down. He ends up in the Outlaw crease. Eventually gets out of there. Now Williams, top of the right circle. He didn't shoot the puck very hard, trying to get it to the front of the net. Now back the other way goes Jacob Schenk, left wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Schenk a shot. Gloved and held onto by Broderick. 8:16 left in the first. Still zip. Draw be to the right of Broderick. One of the Outlaws turned over to Hendersonville for a moment, but the Outlaws kept it in the zone. Here's Dalton Alejandro's shot from the bottom of the right circle, turned away by Broderick. Puck out in front and knocked past the net by Elijah Freeman. Puck held in at the left point by Hayden Hall, but then knocked off his stick and out by Joshua Lodel. Puck out on the far wall. Was out at center, sent back in by Hendersonville, but they had a couple players offside. Now here's Alejandro at center. Alejandro into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing. Could not get around Jared Sheridan. Puck on the end board. Sheridan carries it out to center. Dumps it into the Outlaw zone. Puck comes around to the far wall. Aiden Hall has it taken away, and there's a shot from Gage Salami. Closing in on the left-hand side of the net, stopped and held onto by Yanu Chile. 7:13 to go in the first, and no goals on the board in this one. Draw's going to be to the left of Yanu Chile. Won by Hendersonville. Shot past the net. Jack Resty nudges it over to the near side. Now it comes around to the far side. Gideon Drobnik with it, but it got away from him as he was trying to get space to the middle of the ice. Here's Owen Hervey. Back in the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. Now it's over the left wing corner. Put out in front, intercepted by Justin Schaefer. Tries to clear, held in on the left point. And set to the front of the net by Resty. And a little shot, I think, from Hervey had to be turned away from Broderick. Puck out at center, and Hall didn't push it up, or Resty didn't push it ahead very far. Hendersonville got it into the Outlaw zone, taken back by Tennessee. Here is Hervey, right wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Now Gideon Drobnik, left wing side of the Outlaws zone. Couldn't get around Nico Pulley. Pulley pushes him into the boards in the left wing corner. Now Clive Keeler will carry it out. Keeler into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. Brought down from behind by Harper Deanna, who's going to go to the box. They're going to call him for tripping. Impression it's Nate Luke they get. So 5:49 left in the first. The Outlaws get the first power play of the game. No goals on the board. Draw is going to be to the left of Jackson Broderick. Draw one by Hendersonville, and Carter Morrison fires it down ice. Yanu Chile stops it to the left of his net, and he'll leave it for Logan Wood. Wood drops it back to Jacob Schenk. Goes back to Wood near side at center. Wood back across, left wing side to Josh Kane. Kane had it taken away, clearing attempt held in. Jacob Schenk shoots it past the net from the left point. Jared Sheridan down low. Comes out from behind his own net, out to center. And he'll dump it. Yanuchili leaves it behind the net for Wood. Wood over to the near side Hall. Ahead to Clive Keeler. Try to pass the slot. Intercepted and cleared by Carter Morrison. 1 minute left in the power play for the Outlaws. Here's Jacob Schenk. Passing it over to Logan Wood on the far side of the Outlaw zone. Drops it back into the left wing corner for Schenk. Schenk passing it up the near side. Josh Kane put a stick out. So did Morrison. Puck ends up in the Hendersonville zone. It's cleared by Merrick Mott. Puck pinned up against the boards. 30 seconds left to the power play for the Outlaws. Still a big battle for the puck along the kick plate. Kept in the zone, kept alive by Schenk. Trying to move down to the front of the net. He goes around the back of the net. Puck comes around to the far side. Held in Clive Keeler. Josh Kane pushed into the boards. Kane behind the net. Comes out to the right wing side. Past the slot. Oh, and Hayden Hall shoots it past the net to the right. Well to the right of the goaltender Broderick as the puck is cleared out by Hendersonville. And that is it for the penalty. The Commandos back at even strength. Josh Kane back into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. Trying to go to the front of the net. A backhander. Steered away by Broderick. Puck comes out high. Hayden Hall. Now Jared Sheridan. Over to Carter Morrison. Sends it around the wall to the far side. A.J. Malloy. Puck is behind the net. Here's Sheridan. Banking it off the near kick plate. Puck out at center, and Colin Smith took a hit from A.J. Malloy. Puck now back deep in the Hendersonville zone. Commandos with it. Sent up the wall to the far side. Gideon Drobnik with it. In the Outlaw zone on the right wing. Got around a defender. To the front of the net. A backhander. Stopped by Yanuchili, and he's got it covered. Drobnik pushed the puck around an Outlaws defender. Carried it down the right wing. Went to the front of the net. Got off a backhander. Yanuchili keeps it out. 2:58 left in the first. No goals on the board in this one. Draw going to be to the left of Yanuchili. Won by Hendersonville. Puck in the right wing corner. It's behind the net, actually. Clearing attempt held in at the left point. Nate Lucas shot off the right leg pad of Yanuchili. Puck out on the near side. Now it's behind the net. Josh Kane whips it around to the near side. And Nate Luke couldn't keep it alive. So go for an icing. Draws to Yanuchili's right. Draw one by Hendersonville. Shot from Gage Salami blocked. Puck out on the far boards. Pushed out by Tennessee. Jared Sheridan with it at center. Lost it in his skates. A.J. Malloy picks it up. Brings it into the Hendersonville zone. Got triple teamed and had the puck swiped out. Puck sent back into the Hendersonville zone. Jared Sheridan ahead to Gage Salami. Salami through center. Back into the Outlaw zone on the right wing side. A shot stopped by Yanuchili, and whiffing on the rebound in the slot was Harper Deanna. Puck at center. Tyler Ellis sends it back into the Hendersonville zone. Commandos with it. Dom Harpole shooting an on goal from center, had to be blocked away by Yanuchili. Clearing attempt hit Dom Harpole. They're going to call hand pass against the Outlaws. It hit Dom Harpole in the chest and landed behind him, picked up by Schaefer. That's what triggered the whistle. 1:40 left in the first. No goals on the board. Draw will be on the dot in front of the Outlaw bench. One by the Outlaws. Puck on the near side at center. Sent back into the Outlaw zone by Merrick Mott. Gideon Drobnik picks it up. Carries it around the back of the net out to the right wing side. Backhands it down low. Carter Morrison. Morrison carrying it out to the blue line. Holds on. Pass across. Merrick Mott. Left wing side. His shot hit Cam Wells and went past the net. Morrison going to hold it in at the blue line. And then knocked off his sticking out by Hervey. Morrison. Passing it up the near side, or far side to Schaefer. Sent back the other way by James Daniel. Now it comes back to Schaefer. 1 minute left in the first. Puck back in the Outlaw zone. Merrick Mott tried to send it to the front of the net. Went right to Jack Resty, who clears it out. Now it's back in the Hendersonville end. Cleared out by Dom Harpole. Jack Resty having trouble with it. Lost it in his own blue line. Merrick Mott in front. And he's stopped by Yanu Chile. Big break there for the Outlaws as Resty fumbled the puck right at his own blue line, and Merrick Mott suddenly had a breakaway. Back at the other end, Clive Keeler knocked down, but right back on his skates trying to maneuver the puck to the Outlaw net. 30 seconds left in the period. Puck sent up the near side and deflected back into the Outlaw zone. Gideon Drobnik puts it in front of one-timer by Schaefer. And did he miss that? Or I think he missed it altogether. Drobnik comes out in front. Puck got away from him, hit the skates of Schaefer. It's cleared out of the zone. Here's Sheridan. Sheridan brings it back in. Still plenty of time. Sheridan out high. A shot steered away by Yanu Chile to the left wing corner. Put on in front by Sheridan and a backhander shanked by Schaefer, and that's it for the first. Good end-to-end action from both teams. Good saves by both goalies. Hendersonville-Beech-Gallatin and the Outlaws started the game with no goals on the board. They finished the first with no goals on the board in the Henry Hine Cup winners bracket, this Henry Hine Cup winners bracket semifinal. Ready to start the second period. Jackson Broderick still in goal for Hendersonville. Justin Yanu Chile still in goal for the Outlaws. For the second period, Hendersonville will carry the puck from my left to right. Outlaws from my right to left. Hendersonville win the draw to start the second. Carter Morrison brings it into the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. Puck got away from him. Colin Smith with it down low. Puts it out in front. Went off the boards and out. Here's Alex Williams. Now Caden Smith. Ahead to Colin Smith, right wing side of the Outlaw zone. Pass out to the high slot, Alex Williams. Now Carter Morrison, left circle, a shot over the net. I don't know if Yanu Chile got a piece of it or not. Puck comes to the right point. Caden Smith, a shot, steered away by Yanu Chile. Puck comes out to the left circle, and anybody getting the shot away was Colin Smith. Here's Nico Pulley. Puck knocked off his stick as he crosses the Hendersonville blue line. Caden Smith gives it away to Jacob Shank. And now here is Smith, Colin Smith, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Around the back of the net. Trying to pass it out in front, put it right into the skates of Logan Wood. Here's Shank out to center. Jacob Shank into the Hendersonville zone. Pushed off the puck. Kept alive Josh Kane on the right wing side. Kane down the wall to the right wing corner. Now at the end boards. Nate Luke takes the puck. And it slides out to center on the far side. Here's Hayden Hall. Hall got to wait for Kane to get back on side. He'll dump it into the Hendersonville zone. Jared Sheridan with it. Sheridan passing up the far side, Gage Salami. Salami dumps it into the Outlaw zone. Around the kick plate it goes to the near side. Be carried to center by Jacob Shank. Shank into the Hendersonville zone on the left wing. Shank to the front of the net. A backhander score! Shank across the front of the net. Backhands it in for the left side to give the Outlaws a 1-0 lead with 12:09 to go in the second. Draw one by the Outlaws. Here's James Daniel trying to go down the slot. Couldn't get past Nate Luke. Justin Schaefer backhands the puck ahead to Gideon Drobnik, but comes right to Michael Petak. Here's Justin Schaefer, right wing side. It's Gideon Drobnik, right wing side of the Outlaw zone. Goes to the inboards. Got tripped, trying to go around the back of the net. Going to be a penalty against the Outlaws. It'll be James Daniel going to the box, so Hendersonville get their first power play of the game, down 1-0 with 11:44 to go in the second. Draw is going to be to the right of Yanu Chile. One by the Commandos. Colin Smith, left circle, drops it back up top. Carter Morrison back over to Smith. Smith moving down the left wing. A shot steered away by Yanu Chile. Rebound out to center. Owen taken by Dalton Alejandro. He's in the Hendersonville zone. A shot knocked down by the stick handle of Broderick. Alejandro still with the puck, trying to stop it, and he does! Alejandro stayed to the right-hand side of the net trying to stuff it in, and eventually Broderick pulled his right leg away enough to give enough space for Alejandro to slide it in and give the Outlaws a 2-0 lead in a shorthanded goal. 11:19 left in the second. 95 seconds to go in the power play. Draw one by Outlaws. They dump it right into the Hendersonville zone, but they blow the whistle for icing. They're shorthanded. And the linesman who called for icing says, yeah, we'll drop it right at center again. No, they're going to drop it to the right of Broderick. Interesting there. Draw one by Hendersonville. Here's Carter Morrison. At center, left the puck behind him. Now it's back in the Hendersonville end. Morrison with it again. Morrison to center. Into the Outlaws zone. Stops at the right point. Passes over to the left point. Colin Smith back up top. Morrison. Passes down low. Trying to go back to Morrison in the slot. His one-timer. I don't know if he missed or if Yanu Chile got a piece of it or not. Under a minute left in the power play for the Commandos. They put a shot up on the board. So Yanu Chile did make a save on that Morrison shot. Sheridan sending it around to the left wing corner. Colin Smith. Around the back of the net. Passes up to the right point. Jared Sheridan. Passes over to the left point. Carter Morrison. Try to pass it over. Hit the skates of Shank. Comes right back to Morrison. Now Morrison, left point, under 30 seconds left in the power play for the Commandos. Puck comes down low to the inboards. Morrison, right point. Passes over to Sheridan. Sheridan Takes a shot. It was blocked. Comes over to the right, bottom of the right circle, and a shot from Braden Rose went off of Yanu Chile into the netting above the glass. 3 seconds left in the power play. 9:47 to go in the second. 2-0 Outlaws. Draws to the right of Yanu Chile. Won by Hendersonville. Nate Luke. One-timer from the left point was blocked. Puck out at center. Penalty time against the Outlaws is up. They're back at even strength. Through center comes James Daniel, but he lost the puck. Gideon Drobnik took it away. Drobnik into the Outlaw zone. Trying to pass it to the slot, but it went into the left wing corner. Puck comes out high. Sheridan one-timer from the left point. Gloved and held on to by Yanu Chile. Draw by Yanu Chile's right. Outlaws win it. Puck over on the near side of their zone. Trying to get it out. Right wing corner, Nate Luke. Couldn't hang on to it. Taken away and cleared out by the Outlaws. Merrick Mott with it at center. Passes over to Jared Sheridan. Left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Takes a shot. Gloved and held on to by Yanu Chile. 8:58 left in the second. Still 2-0. Tennessee. Draws to the right of Yanu Chile. Won by the Outlaws. They cleared it out. It looked like they cleared it out. I don't think Dom Harpole kept it in. Puck now in the Hendersonville zone, going down the right wing boards into the right wing corner. Picked up by Carter Morrison. Sends it around to the near side, and Drobnik. Put it off the stick of Owen Hervey. Morrison fell over. Here's Hervey. Trying to backhand it out in front. Broken up by Morrison. Intercepted by Morrison. Trying to flick it out up the near side, and it's at center. Merrick Mott into the Outlaw zone on the right wing side. Trying to pass in front. Drobnik with a one-timer. Nice point-blank save by Yanu Chile. And then he stops the rebound follow-up from Justin Schaefer. 8:19 left in the second. Still 2-0 Outlaws. Draw be to the right of Yanu Chile. Won by Hendersonville, and a shot went off a stick over the net. Still in play. It's out at center and pushed into the Hendersonville zone by Clive Keeler, but he couldn't get around Dom Harpole. Carter Morrison almost fumbled the puck right in front of his own net. Here's Gideon Drobnik, left wing side of the Outlaw zone, going to the front of the net. A backhander. I think it was blocked. Came right back to him. Puck goes behind the net. Here's Mott. Passing out to the left point, Carter Morrison. Morrison taking a shot, went off, or tried to pass across. It went off a stick. Puck flicked up the near side, back into the Hendersonville zone. Harpole and Keeler tied up, and I think they're both going to go. Yep, they're going to send them both to the box. They were tangled up, and then each of them gave a shot to the other. Roughing for both, so it'll stay 5-on-5. 7:33 left in the second, 2-0 Outlaws. Draw on the dot in front of the Outlaw bench. Won by Hendersonville. Here's Jared Sheridan. Pass ahead, intercepted. Jacob Schenk brings it back into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. Schenk, right circle, shot! Oh, he hit the crossbar! That close to a second goal and giving the Outlaws a 3-0 lead. Puck still in the zone, comes back to Schenk in the slot, a backhander! Gloved and held on to by Broderick. First shot on goal, Broderick's faced in a little bit. Draw's going to be to his left. Draw one to the Outlaws. Jacob Shank to the slot. A shot missed the net to the left of Broderick. Puck out on the far wall. Goes out to center. Picked up. And brought into the Outlaw zone. Colin Smith, left wing shot, score! Colin Smith fires it into the roof of the net, and the Commandos are on the board. It's 2-1 Outlaws with 6:58 left in the second. Back the other way up, getting tripped going down the Hendersonville slot was Elijah Freeman. He's drawn a penalty. It's Carter Morrison going to the box. Outlaws go back in the power play. Up 2-1 with 6:45 to go in the second. Draw's going to be to Broderick's right. That was one of the Hendersonville turned over to the Outlaws. Dalton Alejandro backhanded in front. Jared Sheridan intercepted, tried to clear, kept alive by Jacob Shankers. A shot from Dalton Alejandro, score! It went under Broderick into the back of the net. Alejandro scores in the left circle. Second goal of the game. It's a power play tally, and it's 3-1 Outlaws with 6:30 to go in the second. Draw one by Hendersonville, Jared Sheridan. Tried to pass it ahead to Braden Rose, who reached out for it, but it missed him, and it's an icing. Sheridan was at his own blue line when he passed it off. So they'll drop it to the left of Broderick. Draw one by the Outlaws, but turned right over to Hendersonville. Here's Braden Rose. Dumping it into the Outlaw zone from just behind the blue line. Put out in front, score! Alex Williams! Colin Smith with a centering pass. Williams hammers it in. And as soon as they go back down 2, Hendersonville get right back within 1. 3-2 Outlaws with 6:07 to go in the second. So we had 3 goals in a 51-second span. 2 for Hendersonville and 1 for the Outlaws. Draw one for the Outlaws. Jacob Shank brings it into the Hendersonville zone on the left wing side. Could not get around Caden Smith. Josh Kane picks up the puck. Shank in the left wing corner. Trying to put it out in front. Knocked down by Carter Morrison. Morrison will bring it to center. Morrison into the Outlaw zone. Trying to go to the front of the net. His shot stopped by Yanu Chile. And the net got dislodged, I think. Whistle was blown. Yep, the net came loose. Draw will be to Yanu Chile's left. Draw one by Hendersonville. Shot right just off the right circle was blocked. Outlaws trying to get it out of their zone. Merrick Mott behind the net. Comes around on the left wing side, passes out left point. Carter Morrison, shot blocked. And the puck iced by the Outlaws. 5:14 to go in the second. 3-2 Hendersonville. Draw be to the right of Yanu Chile. One by Hendersonville. Puck comes to the slot, knocked away from Justin Schaefer. It's out at center. Owen Hervey nudges it into the Hendersonville zone on the left wing side. Taking a shot past the net. Puck all the way back in the Outlaw zone. Cam Wells backhands it through the air to Hayden Hall. Puck was at center, dumped back into the Outlaw zone by Carter Morrison. Now Morrison with it in the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. Got poked away, actually got it back, and then in from behind. Clive Keeler steals it, chips it to center for Owen Hervey. Hervey into the Hendersonville zone. Going to the front of the net. Oh, and the puck got away from him. It still went off the right leg pad of Broderick, and he has to cover. But Owen Hervey, and then Clive Keeler gets pushed to the ice after the whistle by Carter Morrison, who's going to go to the box for it. But Hervey got right to the front of the net, and puck got away from him. Interference, the call against Morrison. So Outlaws back in the power play up 3-2 with 4:17 left in the second. Draw be to Broderick's left. One by Hendersonville. Turned over to the Outlaws, though. Held it at the right point by Jacob Shank. Across to Logan Wood. Sends it down the left wing to Josh Kane. Back up top, Logan Wood at the left point. Wood down to Kane. Kane goes below the goal line. Try to put it out in front. It's intercepted by Colin Smith. Smith to center. Chips it into the Outlaw zone. Logan Wood will catch up to it. Wood skates it through center. Into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. Wood round the back of the net. Comes around to the left wing. Passes down the left wing side to Kane. Back up top, Wood. Knocked off his stick and out by Colin Smith as he was trying to go down the left wing. Wood catches back up to it, drops back in his own zone for a bit. Now ahead to Kane at center. Tapped over to the far side, but intercepted and dumped back into the Outlaw zone by Mott. Under a minute left in the power play for the Outlaws. Through center comes Jacob Shank. Dumps it to the inboards of the Hendersonville zone. Puck in the left wing corner. Now here's Jared Sheridan. Oh, he got tripped behind the net by Clive Keeler, who's going to go to the box for it, and there goes the Outlaw power play. Hooking is going to be the call. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 37 seconds. 2:55 to go in the second. Outlaws up 3-2. Draw be to the right of Yanu Chile. One by Hendersonville. Try to get it to the front of the net. Hayden Hall with the intercept. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Puck coming around to the far side. Poked out to center. Owen Hervey on the far side. Over to James Daniel. correction. That's not James Daniel. It's Blake Rodemel who shoots it on goal from center, and Broderick had to make the stop. Jared Sheridan trying to pass it to Braden Rose, and it missed his stick. Goes for an icing. One of the linesmen actually had waved it off. 5 seconds left in the 4-on-4. 2:23 to go in the second. 3-2 Outlaws. Draw is going to be to the left of Broderick. Draw to Broderick's left. One by the Outlaws and a shot from Owen Hervey. Penalty time against Hendersonville is up there now on the power play for 83 seconds. Morrison out of the box and into the play. He's got the puck at center. Brings it into the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. Goes to the front of the net, a shot. I think it missed. I don't think Yanu Chile touched it. Puck held in by Braden Rose, takes a bump. Puck in the right wing corner, comes around to the far side, held in left point by Colin Smith. Over to Carter Morrison. Morrison, a shot, blocked away by Yanu Chile. Rebound carried to center by Hervey. Under a minute left in the power play for the Commandos. They take the puck back. Colin Smith, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Drops the puck back to Gideon Drobnik. Puck sent around the wall to the near side. Out to center. 30 seconds left of the power play for the Commandos. Here is Carter Morrison. Now, Alex Williams scored the most recent goal. Puck taken away from him and cleared. No, that's Drobnik, not Williams. Morrison out to center from his own zone. Minute left in the second. Morrison, left point of the Outlaw zone. Passes over Nate Luke. Over to the left wing side. Penalty time against the Outlaws is up. They're back at even strength. And the shot from Colin Smith. Stave, rebound, score, Drobnik. Colin Smith with a shot from the left wing. Yanu Chile made the save, and then he left the net wide open, and the rebound came to Drobnik, who banks it in. And the game is tied at 3 with 49.6 seconds to go in the second. Puck in the Hendersonville zone off the draw. Carter Morrison sends it around the boards to the near side. Justin Schaefer. Now Merrick Mott. Left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Here's Schaefer. Puck taken away and cleared. 30 seconds left of the period. Here's Morrison. Flipping it through the air back into the Outlaw zone. Past the net. Bob Cobb will catch up to it. Nico Pulley. Out on the far side for Logan Wood. Sends it back around the boards to Cobb, trying to clear, held in, and a shot from Justin Schaefer steered away by Yanu Chile. Now the puck brought out to center by Logan Wood, but that's going to be it for the second. A busy second period. There were no goals scored in the first. The second period more than made up for it. Each side with 3 goals for the Outlaws. Goals from Alejandro and Shank. And 3 different goal scorers for the Commandos. Smith, Williams, and Drobnik. And this Hine Cup winners bracket semi between Hendersonville and the Outlaws is tied at 3 at the end of 2. Ready to go with the start of the third period. Justin Yanuchili still in goal for the Outlaws. Jackson Broderick still in goal for the Commandos for this third period. Outlaws carry the puck from my left to right. Hendersonville from my right to left. If we're still tied at 3 at the end of regulation, we go to a sudden death 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime. Draw to start the third, won by the Commandos. It's in the Outlaws zone. Here is Nico Pulley trying to clear it out, but it was knocked down. Gideon Drobnik had it in his stick for a moment, and he's drawn a penalty. It's going to be a penalty against the Outlaws. They're going to call Dalton Alejandro for, no, it's going to be Nico Pulley called for tripping. So Nico Pulley called for tripping. 13:42 left in regulation. Commandos going back in the power play with a game tied at 3. Strawby to the left of Yanuchili. Won by the Commandos. Here's Merrick Mott. Passing it down the wall to the inboards. To the left wing corner. Jacob Schenk battling in there for it. Taken away and cleared out. Winner of this game advances to the winners bracket final next Wednesday, February 21st at 9:15 on the North Ring in Antioch. The loser will play Brentwood on Wednesday night at 8:30 over on Rink B here at Centennial. Offside against Hendersonville. Merrick Mott let the puck go right as he got to the Outlaw blue line. Instead of just carrying it in, he handed it off to Colin Smith, who was outside the zone, just outside the zone. 88 seconds left in the power play, 13:10 left in regulation. The game is tied at 3. Draw one by the Commandos. Merrick Mott trying to nudge it over to Colin Smith. That was poked away. Now Braden Rose, right wing side of the Outlaw zone, in a bit of trouble reeling it in, so Jacob Schenk is going to slap it to the other end of the ice. Broderick will leave it for Morrison. Carter Morrison. Minute left in the power play for Hendersonville. Braden Rose, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Trying to backhand it in front, was knocked down by James Daniel. The puck, I mean. And the puck cleared by the Outlaws. Morrison will catch up to it. Behind his own net. Passes over to the near side. Colin Smith out at center. Smith brings it into the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. Drops it back to the left point. Morrison. Over to the right wing side. Sheridan, top of the right circle. Back to Morrison. Morrison shot off a stick. Score! It took a deflection and went to the bottom corner on the right-hand side of the net. I think it may have gone off an Outlaw stick. And Hendersonville convert the power play to go up 4-3 with 12 minutes left in regulation. It's their first lead of the game. Draw one with the Outlaws. Josh Kane brings it into the Hendersonville zone. Got bumped off the puck. It still comes on goal. And Jackson Broderick has to stop and cover. Drawby to his right. Draw was to the right of Broderick. Outlaws won the draw, but the puck went out to center. Sent back into the Hendersonville zone. On goal by Dalton Alejandro. Broderick had to steer it away from the front of the net. Puck now deep in the Outlaw zone behind the net. Harper Deanna puts it out in front, intercepted. Logan Wood carries to center. Shoots it on goal or towards the front of the net. Carter Morrison picks it up before it ever got to Broderick. Puck out at center. Given back to the Outlaws, who dump it back into the Hendersonville zone. Morrison behind his own net. Then Dom Harpole pushed into the left wing corner boards, and he's drawn a penalty. Was it a hook? Donald Alejandro is going to the box, so Hendersonville back to the power play up 4-3 with 10:53 to go in regulation. Trouble to Yanuchile's left. Draw one by Hendersonville. Colin Smith shot from the right point, stopped by Yanuchile, and Merrick Mott couldn't get to the rebound. Actually backhanded it wide. Now Sheridan again, down the wall to Merrick. Actually Colin Smith back up top. Sheridan couldn't keep it in the zone. I don't think he was expecting Smith to go back to him so quickly. Morrison from his own zone passes it up the far side. Smith into the Outlaw zone on the left wing. Clive Keeler jumped in and swiped the puck away. Keeler into the Hendersonville zone down the right wing side. Gets knocked down by Colin Smith. Back the other way goes Morrison. Over to Braden Rose. Rose left wing side. Drops it back Morrison. Morrison knocked off his stick by Shank. Puck out at center. Sheridan. Over to Colin Smith. Smith carries it right back into the Outlaw zone on the left wing. Smith around the back of the net. Minute left in the power play for the Commandos. Sheridan on the right wing side. Over to Morrison, left point. Morrison holds. Banks it off the near kick plate and down the left wing to Rose. Back up top, Morrison. Holds it in, takes a shot off the stick, I think, of Mott and past the net. They're saying Yanuchile got a piece of it. Puck past Ed. Jacob Shank got some room down the Hendersonville net. He's in front of shot. Stopped. Stopped by Broderick. Big breakaway, short-handed save. As Shank is now pulled down, he's drawn a penalty. But Jackson Broderick comes up with a huge breakaway save on Shank to keep the Hendersonville Commandos ahead. But now they're going to have a man in the box. So there goes their power play. It's a hooking call. I'm not sure who it's against just yet. I don't know if anybody's gone into the box for Hendersonville quite yet. It's Mott. It's Merrick Mott in the box. So 4-on-4 for 31 seconds. 9:25 left in regulation. Hendersonville leading 4-3. Draw one by the Commandos. Here's Gideon Drovnik, right wing side of the Outlaw zone. A shot blockered away by Justin Yanuchile. Puck out at center. It's back in the Hendersonville zone. Commandos with it. Banked off the far glass, but went off a stanchion and came out towards the middle of the rink, the middle lane, and James Daniel jumped in the puck, but couldn't carry it to the front of the net. Penalty time against the Outlaws is up. They're now on the power play. I think a minute. No, it was 31 seconds, so a minute 29, 89 seconds. 31 seconds in the 4-on-4. Puck back in the Hendersonville zone. Offside warning. James Daniel can't touch it. Flick to the other end of the rink by Jared Sheridan. Under a minute left in the power play for the Outlaws. Nico Pulley setting it up the far side for an icing. 47 seconds left of the power play. 8:13 to go in regulation. It's still 4-3 Hendersonville. Draw is going to be to the left of Yanuchile. Draw one by Hendersonville. Carter Morrison sends it down to the end boards. Braden Rose behind the net. Comes out in front of backhander. Stopped by Yanuchile. Puck out on the far side. Here is Jacob Shank carrying it to center. 30 seconds left of the power play for the Outlaws. Blake Rodemel, right wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Shot! Missed the net to the left of Broderick. Puck out on the far side. Carter Morrison Lyson. Yanu Chile will leave it in the left wing corner for Logan Wood. Wood ahead to Kane. Josh Kane out at center. Kane into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. Put it in front, intercepted by Morrison and cleared. Penalty time against Hendersonville is up. They're back at even strength. Blake Rodemel, gives it away to Gideon Drobnik inside the Outlaw zone. Drobnik around the back of the net. Or trying to go behind the net. He comes back out to the left wing side. Took a bump from Blake Rodemel. And Clive Keeler trying to clear it out, and he'll bring it to center instead. Jacob Shank, left wing side of the Commando zone. Trying to put it in front for Keeler. But he missed. I don't know if Roger got a piece of that or not. I'm trying to stretch pass ahead to Colin Smith. Went off an Outlaw sticking its way down. Here's Drobnik at center on the far side. Back into the Outlaw zone, but could not get around Bob Cobb. Poked to the front of the net. Actually stabbed on goal by Mott. Stopped and covered up by Yanu Chile. 6:34 left in regulation. It is still 4-3 Hendersonville. Coming up next, the last game in our triple header for the evening. The other Hine Cup elimination game for the day. Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on Centennial. Draw over the Outlaws and they clear. It's in the Hendersonville zone. Picked up by Caden Smith. Puck comes out in front, knocked away by the Commandos, held in Bob Cobb. His shot stopped and covered up by Broderick. Draw to Broderick's right. It was won by the Commandos, turned over to the Outlaws, and a spin-around shot. Spin-around backhander from Dalton Alejandro, missed the net. Now it's out at center. Now it's back in the Commando zone. Caden Smith with it again. Powell passed it right in front of his own net to Sheridan, and Andrew Leitz almost stole it in the slot. Clearing attempt held in at the left point by Bob Cobb. He sends it back down the wall. Puck will be carried out. Gage Salome crosses the red line, dumps it into the Outlaw zone. Puck in the Outlaw zone again. Colin Smith behind the net. Passes up top to the right point. Morrison. Down to Smith. They try to go back to Morrison, who was moving down the right wing. Gave it right to James Daniel. Daniel now left wing side of the Commando zone. Tried to back in it in front to A.J. Malloy. Oh, and then a big hit on a Commando player to the end boards. I think it may have been Malloy with a big hit on Dom Harpole. And it is A.J. Malloy who's going to go to the box. Interference the call. So Commandos return to the power play up 4-3 with 4:38 left in regulation. Draws to the left of Rodemel. As the Commandos were taking a temporary breather, a pseudo timeout, and the ref blew the whistle loudly to get him out to the faceoff, which is to the left of Yanu Chile. Won by the Commandos. Here's Jared Sheridan sending it down the wall. Puck is behind the net. Braden Rose now on the near side. Pushed into the boards. Rose. He and Jack Resty come together, and Resty goes down. Here comes Smith out to the right wing, passing it up to the right point. Sheridan across to Morrison. Over to the right circle, Smith. Try to leave it for Sheridan, but Jacob Shank swipes the puck. Shank now, left wing side of the Hendersonville zone, takes a bump, goes to the front of the net, drops it back up the slot, trying to get it to Clive Keeler, but it's intercepted by Sheridan. Being unselfish was the wrong play there by Shank. Here's Smith out at center. Back into the Outlaw zone on the right wing side. Smith around the back of the net. Backhanding it up to the left point, and Morrison sent back down to Smith. Sent around the wall to the far side, and Rose. Rose behind the net. Under a minute left in the power play for the Commandos. Sent back to the blue line of Morrison. Morrison's shot hit Resty in front. They're trying to clear it. It comes back down low. Braden Rose up. Hand pass called against the Commandos. Big break for the Outlaws because Rose only had one defender between he and Yanuchili. Here come the Commandos off the draw into the Outlaw zone. Jared Sheridan passing it down the right wing side. Under 30 seconds left. The power play for Hendersonville. Gideon Drodnik trying to go to the front of the net. Merrick Mott turns around, shoots, score! Merrick Mott with the right circle. Through the legs of Yanuchili into the back of the net. It's a power play goal for the Commandos, and they have breathing space. They're up 5-3 with 2:59 to go in regulation. Father Ryan beat Pope 2-1 in overtime. Wow. Father Ryan won 3 games, have won 3 games against Pope this season. That's unbelievable. So Ryan will play Ensworth on Wednesday night. The winner's bracket semifinal matchups are set for Wednesday for the Preds Cup. Father Ryan and Ensworth in the first game. Ravenwood NBA in the next game. Both will be here on Rink A at Centennial. We'll have them for you. Hendersonville with a puck deep in their own zone. Coming around the wall to the near side. Jacob Shank holds it in. Knocked off his stick, Logan Wood. Now Shank. Shank going to the front of the net. Shot it wide. Puck behind the net. Puck out at center. Nico Pulley sending it back to the Hendersonville zone. Can Shank catch up to it? Yes, he does. But he lost it in the skates of Sheridan. Here's Braden Rose in the Outlaw zone. A shot. Missed the net to the right of Yanuchili. Rose passing it up to the left point. Held in by Alex Williams. Now Drobnik. Drobnik comes out in front. Knocked away from him. Carter Morrison with a shot. Missed the net to the right of Yanuchili. Puck going to go out to center. Nate Luke dumps it back in. Commandos teammates have to get back on side. They do. Some of them are going to the bench for a change. Stretch pass up the far side. Deflected into the Hendersonville zone towards the front of the net. Picked up by Nate Luke. He'll whip it around the wall. They're calling Justin Yanuchili to the bench for the extra attacker. He is on with 75 seconds to go in regulation. So the net is empty for the Outlaws. Carter Morrison clears. James Daniel has it inside his own zone. Minute to go in regulation. Here's Alex Williams. Backhanding it out to center. Taken back by the Outlaws. Offside called. It's taken back. Clive Keeler touched it up. Offside. 54 seconds exactly to go. Still 5-3 Hendersonville. In regulation, I should say. And the Outlaws are going to use their timeout. So 7-seeded Hendersonville, 54 seconds away from having knocked off both the 2 and 3 seeds to advance to the Hine Cup Winners Bracket Final. Justin Yanuchili going to go back to the crease since the face-off will be near him. It was Jacob Boren who the overtime winner for Father Ryan. Wow. It was 1-0. Father Ryan took a 1-0 lead just near the halfway point of the first and held on to it all the way until 38 seconds left in regulation when Jacob Sullivan scored to tie the game up. Wow. Drawby right at center. Won by the Outlaws. Puck dumped into the Hendersonville zone. Back to the bench comes Yanuchili with about 46.5 seconds to go. Puck just held in at the left point by James Daniel. It's behind the net. Put out in front. Alejandro, pass across, Josh Kane whipped on it, and then a backhanded try stopped by Broderick under 30 seconds left in regulation. Shot from Daniel blocked. Puck at the inboards. 15 seconds left in regulation. Puck put out in front, and Broderick has it covered with 12.1 seconds to go. USN leading Rutherford 1-0 at the end of one in the other winners bracket semi. Net still empty for the Outlaws. Draws to Broderick's right. From the Outlaws, puck behind the net. Put out in front. Logan Wood with it. It gets away from him. Shot from Jacob Shank. Stopped by Broderick. That's it. Hendersonville, 7-seeded Hendersonville, beat 3-seeded Outlaws. 5-3 in the winners bracket semi. And the Commandos are into the winners bracket final next Wednesday night against either USN or Rutherford. So the Outlaws will play Brentwood on Wednesday night at 8:30 in a loser's bracket quarterfinal over on Rink B. As there's an Outlaw player slow to get up after a little scrum following the final buzzer. Comes close to the bench. It's Clive Keeler. All right, so the goals in this one, the Outlaws goals, 2 for Dalton Alejandro, the other from Jacob Shank. For Hendersonville, Colin Smith, Alex Williams, Gideon Drobnik, Carter Morrison with a game winner, and Merrick Mott with the put away. Player of the game is going to be Colin Smith, as Hendersonville win this one 5-3. And they are headed to the winners bracket final. Next Wednesday night, February 21st, 9:15 on the North Ring in Antioch. I'm just sending out the text here to everybody. So Hendersonville with a fantastic victory. The 7-seeded Commandos have beaten 2-seeded Centennial and now 3-seeded Outlaws here in the first 2 rounds of the Henry Hine Cup, and they are into the winners bracket final next Wednesday night, February 21st at 9:15. They will play either USN or Rutherford. And Brentwood will play, or the Outlaws will play Brentwood on Wednesday night, this Wednesday night at 8:30 over on Rink B here at Centennial. Fantastic postseason so far for Steven Sullivan and the Commandos. Well, coming up in 10 minutes, coverage of our final game of the night, the second elimination game of the day. 6-seeded Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on Centennial, the 2-seed. Winner will play the USN Rutherford loser on Wednesday night. The loser, their season is over. Again, that's coming up at 8:25. The final score here in this Predators Cup Winners Bracket semifinal. 7-seeded Hendersonville-Beech-Gallatin beat 3-seeded Tennessee Outlaws 5-3. Station Camp and Centennial coverage coming up at 8:25.